What's going on, everyone? Anthony here, and welcome to another Resident Evil Collection update. This is number 56, and it's the first of 2020, and the new decade. And this took a little bit, but we gathered a bunch of Resident Evil goodies. The first thing was the Resident Evil Famitsu from Japan that they put out, and a lot of the press stuff started to come out around this time when this was ordered around December. And of course it had a bunch of interviews from Capcom, but it did have an exclusive part on Resident Evil Remake with the Z Edition, of course. And it has the more in-depth screenshots with Jill Valentine and a little blurb about the setting of the game and the gameplay. We get into the gameplay and the screenshots right here. More of the screenshots that everybody got online, that everybody saw. A lot of them came from magazines, of course, and the press release photos. And then of course they have Project Resistance covering some of the survivors here, and all of their bios and whatnot, and really cool memorabilia to have. I never actually owned a Famitsu. And here's the producer and director, and an interview that they did with them, with more screenshots that we got. And of course they cover the collector's edition, which at the time was about to go on sale, so this was right before that happened. And this part is really cool because they show the old Resident Evil 3 Famitsu from 1999, and they have inserts from them, which are really cool item to have. And here we go to another magazine, the official UK PlayStation magazine. I'm a big fan of this magazine still, even though it's only in the UK. And of course, we remember when all this stuff came out online from this magazine, Meet Your Nemesis again. I was finally able to get my hands on it, ordering it. And from here, you have all of the information we got from the other magazines, but a little bit more added detail on each character and, of course, Nemesis himself. We also had more screenshots that they ended up giving up on the Famitsu that they put. They put the same screenshots on here, similar screenshots anyway. And the good thing about this is that it actually does come with a poster as well. So this is Resistance, but it does have a poster. And the poster looks awesome. There's no logo on it. It's really cool. That's what I like about the UK magazines, is you actually get extra stuff with it. This magazine is also from the UK. This is Edge magazine. And this also is a different cover variant. You can get the Jill Valentine cover variant if you are a subscriber. It says Valentine's Day. And we get some new screenshots, some new concept art of some of the areas that's inside the donut shop right there. And we have some more inserts that pretty much went online, and with the concept art as well. This came out around the same time the gameplay started to show, and we had more artwork from Nemesis and from Jill and Carlos. We did talk about this in our screenshot breakdown as well. So a lot of this information is just great memorabilia to have. It's really an exciting time to see all this press stuff on Resident Evil 3 and to collect it, because I collect the old Resident Evil magazines, you know, or the inserts from PlayStation magazines that included Resident Evil. And, you know, it's really cool stuff here. These are more cool shots of Moon's Donuts with the great concept art and showcasing the graphics, and of course Nemesis himself. And of course you got to talk about Resistance, because that is also included in here. And we got some more artwork with one of the new survivors. This is going back a little bit further to the official PlayStation magazine in the US. And this right here is a Resident Evil 2 cover of the game. Of course, the game was being talked about in this issue. It was featured January 1998 was when this issue came out. And this is them talking about the Return of the Living Dead, Resident Evil 2. And it talks about the concept behind Resident Evil 2 and how it originated. And of course, as you see in the corner, it does cover Resident Evil 1.5. So this is a really cool little snippet. And it does talk about the George A. Romero commercial that also aired in Japan, which is really cool because it does peel the curtain back a little bit from behind the scenes. Of course, the artwork in this is awesome. And they do reference deja vu, as they say in here, where it has callbacks to Night of the Living Dead with the boarded up windows and zombies breaking through. And of course it has a bunch of the action figures on the bottom too, but a really cool little magazine insert. They don't make them like this anymore. This is a Resident Evil 3 Prima guide. And the Prima guides were usually a little bit more bland. They didn't have as much of cool shit inside like the Perfect guide, where the artwork was a lot more intense. This artwork isn't bad. It does showcase the characters, and the enemies and stuff like that. Some of the screenshots are very bright for some reason, like it's like overly bright, unlike the other guidebooks that I have of Resident Evil 3, where it doesn't look as bad. But that's just my opinion. I mean, the artwork is kind of here. It does talk about gunpowder and how to mix and all the items that you can get. The cool thing about this particular guide is that it actually comes with a Raccoon City map that I did frame and I put up, and I'm going to show on the wall here in a second. And of course, we're going through the clock tower to the end of the game, and the quick decisions little cardboard thing that could have been pulled out, it's actually still intact, which is pretty cool. So it has all the quick decisions on a little list for you. It's like a beat list of all the quick decisions, which are pretty cool. But the Raccoon City map is cool because it is double-sided, so you have the outskirts of the city, and then you also have the front of the city, but I have the outskirts actually framed and put on the wall. This is a Resident Evil 6 strategy guide, collector's edition hardcover strategy guide from Carlos Cruz. We're going to show more stuff that Carlos Cruz sent out in a little bit right here, right after this, but the Resident Evil 6 hardcover guide is awesome because I only have the Resident Evil 5 hardcover guide, which does have extra artwork and it's a little bit more in depth. And of course here it does the same thing where they break down every BOW, they break down all the enemies, and of course they have a big ass art section of the back of the guide, which is really cool. And it does have a list of medals and all the medals that you can get in particular chapters, doing certain things a certain way, and the achievement and trophy list. So it is an achievement and trophy hunting list, and what's cool about this guide is it does actually give you a strategy per achievement and trophy, which is really cool. And there's a nice little ad for the Resident Evil archives there, which is pretty cool. And a really nice strategy guide. So thank you, Carlos Cruz, for sending that out. And this is just us getting right into the stuff that he sent out. Of course, he sent me and John out stuff. But this is the BSAA North American badge patch that you can also put on if you're cosplaying or you want to iron it on an actual Chris BSAA outfit, which I do have. Resident Evil 2 Gamescom from Tiger Electronic. This thing's fucking awesome. I never thought I would actually have this, but thank you for this, man. It's really cool. And I'm going to leave it sealed. It doesn't look like it has been opened, so I have no reason to open it. I don't own something to play it on. This is a Umbrella Corps face mask, which is really cool. Checking out the detail there, the skull, really good material, really cool piece. I love the logo on there. Looks fucking awesome, man. Another great thing about that is that, again, it adds to stuff I've never even had. I've never had any of this stuff before. Even the stickers. I've never had the stickers before. These are a set of Resident Evil 5 stickers. You got Chris, Sheva, Wesker, and of course the Resident Evil 5 logo. This is a Resident Evil 6 sticker of Chris and Piers. And then we have Jason and Freddy mini pops, which are fucking awesome. And of course I had to snag them. Resident Evil 6 pins, which are great because I do love pins and I do like collectible pins. And that's like a little great from launch, actually. So it's officially from Capcom. And these are Biohazard pins. I'm actually wearing one right now. And there's two on there. The Biohazard merch has a bunch of stuff. They had a bunch of stuff that they put out with the anniversary and stuff coming out. And these are all straight from Japan. So some of the stuff is really cool. You don't normally see. Same thing goes for the caution tape. It's actually tape. It's yellow for caution. And then I also have green for fine, which is cool. And someone else has the red for danger, but we have for Danger Dylan. This is the green for fine tape as well, which is really cool. Stuff like this I like to keep sealed because it's just really awesome. It's a really cool piece of memorabilia. For any of you fans of the mint, the property mints out there, they do have umbrella mints, which I've never actually seen. So this is actually the first time I've seen it, which is really cool. And I definitely am not going to open them though, because they're probably old as hell. This is a shot glass. Keep calm and eat brains. Fucking awesome. Love the shot glass, man. Thank you, Carlos Cruz, again for sending all this stuff. And he also gave us some UMDs of Resident Evil and Resident Evil Apocalypse. Resident Evil 2 Platinum Edition is another thing that I grabbed from eBay. This thing is a rare find. It wasn't in the best condition, but these big box PC titles are really hard to come by. And the Resident Evil 2 PC Platinum Edition does go for some money, even with just the jewel case alone. The box does fold out. Be very afraid, and it has more of the PC Gamer reviews and the GameSpot reviews. I remember seeing this in the store when I was a kid. As you can see, the cardboard on the top's a little messed up, but other than that, the jewel case is actually intact. It has Leon, and it has an ad for a Resident Evil 2 shirt and the Resident Evil books, and then you got Claire on the other side. So 2 CD-ROMs for both characters. It also comes with a desktop wallpaper as well. Really cool to add to the collection. And there's the back there. This next thing, it was a gift from John for Christmas, which was a Resident Evil 5 review copy. This is something from the UK, and some of these review copies that surface online are really expensive. They definitely get expensive for stuff like Resident Evil. And this one in particular is for Resident Evil 5. And it has a little blurb up top there, and it tells you that this is a review copy. You can't resell it, blah blah blah. Years later, obviously, they come and go online. But this is a really cool piece of Resident Evil history, and I love Resident Evil 5. So this is something that's going to be cool just to have in the collection. And there's nothing really different about this. It's the game. There's nothing that is like censored or anything from the main copy for anybody that was wondering. And this is the Resident Evil 2 board game. Now, as some of you may know, I never actually retrieved my Kickstarted Resident Evil 2 board game. They never sent it to me. They never replied to my messages. They never gave it to me. But shout out to my brother Nick, who got this for me for Christmas. And the Resident Evil 2 board game is here. I finally have it. I don't have any expansions yet, but I am going to get it. I was able to play this at Dustin's because he did have it, and we did live stream the board game on air. But now I actually have mine, which I'm happy because... Again, I got screwed over I still have never gotten mine. I spent over $100 and I never actually got my board game. So, and this is a German poster of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and it's just incredible. I got it for a lot of money, but I finally framed it on the wall. And here is the Resident Evil Code Veronica Laced Records soundtrack. It's green and black is kind of the theme they're going for here. The green vinyl is what's inside. As you see, the Code Veronica soundtrack is stacked, and you have amazing artwork on here. Obviously, when you open it up, this is it with the little banner thing removed so you can open it. And that's the one thing I do like about Lace Records, is that they always have great artwork inside for fans to just like be like, man, that's really cool right there. You know, they don't skimp on the artwork. And as you see, the Lugers are on side A and they're on side B with the green vinyl variant. I believe these are still available. They didn't sell out as fast as the Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 2 soundtrack. However, I did order the Resident Evil 3 soundtrack, but that's coming. That's on its way. Resident Evil 0, of course, was also released side by side with Code Veronica. This has a more yellow and black theme going inside the vinyl, and on the artwork, of course, you see the train on the back. The good thing about this is that, again, it has amazing artwork right inside. That's the train. It's all very dark. Again, black and yellow is the theme that they wanted to kind of go with here, and it looks incredible. It looks phenomenal, and they sound great on vinyl as well. These are the vinyls themselves, yellow. They got the little medals there in the center there for A and B. And that about wraps it up for this edition of the Resident Evil Collection update. This was a lengthier one, and I appreciate you guys waiting on this one. I did want to wait a while until I got, a couple different items that were worth showing. Again, some of these were accumulated from probably like November to about now. So between November to March, I gathered a lot of stuff. So I'm going to try to not wait as long in between Resident Evil Collection updates, try to just put them out as I get stuff, kind of like I used to. When I came back with the Resident Evil Collection update, that it was going to be a bigger update for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to drop a like on this video and stay posted with the Resident Evil 3 Remake hype, and keep watching our Legacy streams because we're still doing the Legacy streams leading up to the release of Resident Evil 3 Remake, and we know we're going to be getting a demo any day now. So stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.